Hello, this is Jeremy Mullins, the Tech Coordinator at Keller Williams Rivertown. This video is actually to introduce you to the KW dashboard. We're going to be covering multiple things. The first one is how to change your KW password. The second thing is to sign up for an @KW email. And then we're going to go over setting up your profiles for the KW tools that we use. So after you get the email from Keller Williams Intranet and you log in using the username and the random password that they gave you, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come up here to Technology. We're going to come down here to Change Password. Now when we change the password, this will change our login information for the MyKW.KW.com dashboard. So we change the password, and then we want to put in an email here. And this email is recovery purposes. If you skip this step and you forget your password to log in, it could be 24 to 48 hours for Keller Williams International to approve the MCA to get your email or to get your password reset. So we want to make sure that we enter a new password, we confirm it, and then we put in a recovery password that you currently own, and then hit submit. Once you do that, the program might log you out. Usually you stay logged in, but when you do get logged out, you can just put in that new password and it should be pretty seamless. The second step that KW requires all agents to do is to sign up for an @KW.com email address. This email address allows for many things. One of them is it adds the KW.com authority to your emails. So when you send it out to clients, it's a little bit more professional than Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo.com at the end of your email string. The second thing is it actually allows you for KW's single sign-on system. They're moving to an email login system versus giving usernames. So signing up for an email, you should be all set. To do it, it's pretty easy. Come up here to Technology and then go to KW email and then click on Sign Up. A rule of advice is don't use the word realtor in your email address. If you use the word realtor, KW will reject it because realtor is a trademark name. So after you sign up, you'll get a notification that the email was submitted for approval. 24 hours after that approval is sent, usually you can go to gmail.com and sign in using the full @KW.com email address that you applied for, and then the password that they asked you to put in during the application process. Usually it's pretty seamless. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. The next step of the process is to set up your KW.com profile. As you can see, mine says 100%. Some agents only have 96%, and I still think that's okay. That just means that they're most likely missing like a Twitter account or a social media outlet that they might not use for their business anyway. My rule of thumb is if it's green, it's good. This information here actually shows up on KW.com when somebody searches your name on the Find an Agent tab. Whatever shows up here is what actually we're filling in right now. So to proceed, we're going to click on Profile. Now there's 4 different columns here, and we're going to concentrate on the first 3. The first one being MyKW Info. We're going to click on Edit. This next screen is pretty self-explanatory. First thing we're going to do is upload our photo. It's pretty easy. Just click on Upload Photo, find your photo on your computer, and then upload it, and it should load in pretty easily. We're going to keep on scrolling down. Make sure we fill in all the information that we possibly can. When it gets to the mobile carrier, just put in your cell phone, find your mobile carrier provider, and then click Send. And what's going to happen is KW will send you a text with a word. Once you type that word in and verify it, any notifications that you get off of KW will actually be texted to you also. Our fax number here is 616-608-5137. You do want to have a bio. You don't have to have a long one. Usually a paragraph is fine. Display URL for KW.com. Just put in your full name with no spaces. If that is not available, feel free to put in like the year you were born or the city you want to work in. The biggest hiccup people have is signing up is putting in the Facebook, Twitter, or different URLs here. So for Facebook, all you have to do is go to facebook.com under your personal or business account and put in whatever shows up after the backslash, after Facebook.com. For instance, mine says Mullins for Mac, and so I'm going to put in Mullins for Mac here, or right here, I'm sorry. For Twitter, put your username. For a blog, if you have a blog, you can put the URL there. If you have an introduction YouTube video, you can put it here. If you don't, please know that we do provide these free for our agents. Just schedule a time with me and we'll record it and put it up for you. LinkedIn, what you want to do is you want to go to linkedin.com, click on Profile after you log in. And right now, if yours does not have the IN between your linkedin.com and your username, click on the Settings button. And on the right-hand side, you can adjust your public URL. Just click on the Edit button and then type in your name here fully. If it's not available, feel free to put in the year of your birth or the city you want to work in, and click on Save. And then whatever you put in this box here, go ahead and copy, and you can paste it right on the LinkedIn button right there. You should be all set. If you speak more than one language, you can actually click on using the Control or Command key on a Mac. You can go ahead and click on different languages and select multiple if you want to. Otherwise, just make sure that you have at least English on there. If you do want to display your previous brokerages, you can just click on here. And same thing, if you wanted to, you can if you wanted to display your previous brokerage, you can. It's completely up to you. For email, why don't you go ahead and put in your KW.com email address here. If you don't think you're going to be using your @KW.com email and prefer Gmail, Yahoo, or Hotmail.com, feel free to use it, but just know that the @KW.com email address does add some authority to your business. If you have started Ignite, go ahead and click on this and pick the date that you started, and the same thing goes for lead gen if you want to. When you're done, click on the Save button, and go ahead and close this tab out because it usually opens up in a new tab. So we're going to be going back to this screen here, which usually is open in the background. If you do a refresh, what will happen is some of this information will actually feed through to the other sources. The next step, we're going to go to My Leads, and this is a pretty simple process too. What we want to do is make sure all our contact information is on the screen appropriately. Click on Save. After that is done, click on number 2.0. Click on Edit Site Info, and then please put your full name here on the site name, and then click Save. While we're in this menu, we're going to click on number 4. Under Add IDX Search, you're going to click on the Yes button that usually shows up right here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come down here to number 4.5. We're going to click on the Market Center, and then we're going to click on Save. What will happen is now this screen will actually generate a code. What we're going to do is we're going to copy this code. We're going to open up a new tab, and we're going to paste it, and click Enter. We just want to make sure that when we click Enter, our name shows up on this box here. We're going to leave this tab open because we're going to need it here in just a little bit. So going back to the tab here, once this is done, make sure your mobile app area says West Michigan or Grand Rapids or whatever area you want to serve. And then click on this button. It says yes, send mobile visitors to my app download page, and then click Save. Then we can close this tab out. And then if we do a refresh on this page again, more information should now show up, and your website should now read your full name .yourkwagent.com. The third process is going under the Other tab and click on Edit. This tab actually shows people how you handle referrals. You can put in your team's motto and all that fun stuff. So what I do is, if you don't have a team, just put Keller Williams Rivertown. Under specialties, put in any real estate specialties that you have. A lot of new agents put in like first-time home buyers, finding people homes, selling people's houses. Whatever you want to do, just go ahead and put it there. If you have any other designations, go ahead and feel free to put it there. Go ahead and fill in the slogan. It doesn't have to be anything awesome if you don't want it to be. Just put in your moral standings, and that'll be fine. Once again, language is spoken. Click on English. Referral notes. How much do you pay out for referrals? And then loss mitigation. If you have any if you ever worked with banks to sell houses, you can put the bank's name here. And click on Save. Now we're going to actually, after this page reloads, Under the city service area, click on Add Service Areas, and now we can actually go through and add different towns, different zip codes, different counties, and different areas that we might be working in. Just make sure that you realize that anything you put in here also does show up on your service areas here. The more information you put, obviously the more service areas it looks like you provide for. So once that's done, you can close that tab and come back up here, click the refresh button, and you should see a lot of more information. And if we actually click on the dashboard button or the MyKW logo, your profile should now be at 100%. So that takes care of the KW profile. The next thing we're going to move on to is your eEdge profile. The next part of the system we're going to look at is eEdge. In the middle box here, you should have a big button that says Activate eEdge. Go ahead and click on that and start the process. Obviously, I've already done so, but it's a pretty self-explanatory process. Make sure you click on the free version. We don't need to pay for it as of right now. And when it comes time to sign up for your website, just go ahead and put your full name. We don't have to put anything fancy. We just want to make sure people can find us if they want us. And then after you activate it, what's going to happen is when you hit save, it might actually show up the blue box again. It's pretty easy to fix that. Go ahead and click on switch, hit select, and then pick the market center that you want to work at. And then what happens is the screen should load and look similar to mine. Once again, this is a pretty simple process. If you have any questions, please let me know. So through the course of this training, we're going to be referencing eEdge a lot. So what eEdge is actually a contact to close system, meaning that we can put all our contacts into the system and we can work them. What this is, it's called a CRM, which means Contact Relationship Manager. And once we put a contact in here, we can actually make notes about them. We can actually go through and make comments about them, figure out where their address is. Any emails that we send out through the system are tracked, so we can actually see if their emails are tracked or if they opened emails that we sent them. We can add reminders to remind us to call them. We can add them to email campaigns, drip campaigns that are activated, or drip campaigns that are actually done by KW.com for us to send to our clients. We can also add them to different groups, and so we can market to different groups differently than we would per a person. A lot of this information we're actually going to cover at a later basis. I just want to make sure you understand that after we put a contact in, we can actually create marketing around them. So like we can do campaigns, we can do one email off, we can actually send them postcards if we wanted to automatically. We can also use eEdge to print off marketing materials for our houses. That means like postcards, stuff like that. We can also do listing presentation, or what KW calls them is guides. Once again, we'll be covering this in a later session. I just wanted to give you an idea of what eEdge is and why it's essential to make sure that we have our profiles set up here so that our clients understand who we are and what we're doing with them. So to set up a profile, it's pretty easy. Right here on the right-hand side, you should see your name, and pretty much all we have to do is go to My Account, and what we're going to do is we're going to click on the Edit button. When we click on the Edit button, we can kind of come through here and fix anything and everything that's done. A couple notes is under phone numbers, make sure that you put the phone numbers in as you want them to be seen on marketing materials. I'm a big fan of the parentheses and the spaces, only because if you were to send this brochure to like the older generation, it's really hard for them to find the spaces otherwise. So if we add spaces to our marketing material, they can read it easily and they can call us if they need to. Second thing is reply to email. So if you have a gmail.com, you can actually change it here. Now, you're looking at a new email address that was actually created when you signed up for eEdge. So it's jeremymullins@kwrealty.com. We do not have to use that. We can use our kw.com email address or your system that you want to use. If we just put it under the marketing and reply to email, whenever we send a system out or an email out of the system and people reply to it, it'll go to whatever email address is here. Marketing website, if you have one, you can put that here. If you don't worry. We're going to be putting our websites together at a later date. Next thing down is the mobile app that we want to pay attention to. Now, if you remember correctly, we copied and pasted this link here into a new tab. We're actually going to copy that again and paste it into this portion right here. And so if we send out any emails with a link to our mobile app, this will show up here, and I'll actually click to this page here. And the mobile app will be going over at a later date as well. For social media, we can put in the full URL. So for instance, for Facebook.com, I just click on Add Social Media, come down here to Facebook, and then put in the full URL. So I'd pretty much just come here, copy this whole thing, and paste it. And so you can do that with all your social media links that you currently have. The agent MLS ID, this is actually going to be a process where we fill out paperwork for the IDX. After you complete this course, I will actually send out paperwork for you to sign through .loop. Once that is signed, we'll submit it to eEdge, and we should be good to go in a couple weeks. Put in your calendar to come back here and update this information. Once the approval process is put through, Mishrik or Gra or Flex should be the MLS name here. When you click on that, pretty much all you have to do is put in your user ID, which would be like GMULL with random numbers. This will actually connect your listings to your name through the eEdge system. And then last but not least, we want to actually upload our website images. When you go to upload these, there usually is directions on how big the pictures need to be. So go ahead and upload the pictures. If you need help resizing those, you can use the free tool called Picasa. The next thing we need to do is upload our images. So this is the image that will show up on our eEdge website. This is the image that will show up on our marketing materials. And if you have a logo, this will show up on your marketing materials as well. Once that is complete, we'll come up here to Office Info under My Account. So My Account, Office Info. You want to make sure that this is under the correct time zone and that this is actually our office. Under Activity Alerts, we can actually put in if somebody signs up on our website, how we want to be activated or how we want to be notified. I'll just put in your text message, your phone, any of the information here. Just make sure these are all on. And then daily alerts, if you want to see if people did sign up on your website and stuff like that, you can get email daily alerts. Click on this and click on Save. And then under Website Admin, so we're going to actually move up from My Account to Website Admin. This is your website, what it's going to look like. What we can do is, if we wanted to, you can actually go through and upgrade to Pro. I don't advise it now, only because eEdge is free and the Pro system is $100 a month, and it's a system that you would grow into. It's not something they're going to pay off right away just to have it. So, and then pretty much under Site Images, what you can do is you can upload a current logo, and if you want to change the banner, you can actually upload a file if you wanted to, or you can actually search the catalog. And so, for instance, if we wanted to, I have ad blocker on, so mine's actually not showing, but if I pause my ad blocker, I'd have images here I could actually pick from. And if I click on Save, that means what would happen is if I clicked on View My Website, this background image now displays exactly what I want it to be. Going back to the tab over here, under Pages, what I would do is I'd come down here, click on the page name, and I can actually edit the content that's on that page. So I would take some time to go ahead and do this. Once again, it's up to you what you want to do, how much effort you want to put in. But I would take the time personally to go through and update any of this information, so it has a little bit more about me, or about you, I mean. And then under email settings, we have a signature. We can actually put in a signature here if we wanted to, which is I do recommend that you do. I would at least do the signature, but you can also go through and click on the welcome email, what you want to get sent out there, and go ahead and click on Save. So that should kind of complete your eEdge profile, and that completes this video. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at jeremymullins@kw.com, and I'll be happy to answer. Thank you.